of our lecturers and tutors, they've got PhDs, so they really are experts in the field. So, if you've got any questions, just ask them during classes, and you can be assured that you will get really, really good answers, answers that you may not even have thought about. So those are one of the challenging one-on-ones that we provide. Now, career development, we've got our careers advisor, and we've got a whole suite of career services that we offer under that. You will hear from Jared about that, and also our specialist courses, because we are specialized in business, IT, and engineering. We create the best courses, very, very specialized. So, you become an expert in that area. And finally, we've got our amazing student support, which I'm really, really proud of. Anything from mental health support, personal support. A lot of students, when they come here, they do get a cultural shock, they get homesick. So we have people on hand to really help you through that as well. Besides that, you get academic support, you get assignment support. So there's so many different levels of support that we provide at MIT. You can learn more about that. So without further ado, actually, I will hand the mic on to Surbi. She will talk a little bit more about the offshore online model. She will explain in detail about that. And if you've got any questions, you can ask after Surbi and Dr. Tony Jan has spoken. So Surbi, do you want to come on?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Radha. Hello and a very warm welcome to each one of you today for taking out time for this day. My name is Surbi, and I will today brief you on how offshore online model works for international students. As we all know, global higher education sector is going through a transition, so we all are preparing ourselves for the new normal. To study online, all international students are required to enroll either 1 or 2 units for July 2020 intake before starting full-time studies in Australia. This means the undergraduate students are required to enroll for minimum 2 units for online mode, and postgraduate students are required to enroll for minimum 1 unit. However, we recommend them to enroll for 2 units. Try the next slide. Definitely, the online model will have a number of benefits. If an applicant commences his classes online, it will have a positive impact on his visa application. This will clearly indicate his dedication and genuine intentions to study at MIT and towards his career. Applicant can avoid a gap due to COVID-19. Applicant will have an easy access to the facilities like participate in live sessions or online classes via Zoom, interact with instructor or academic coordinator and classmates through discussion forum, would also have an access to e-learning library, and last but not the least, connect with career advisors and attend online career workshops. Procedure to apply is quite simple. If you already have an offer from MIT for July 2020 intake, you're required to get in touch with your agent, counselor, or one of the MIT staff who would assist you in arranging your revised offer letter. If you haven't applied yet, please connect with your agent and proceed with the application through MIT application portal. If you're ready to proceed with the acceptance, you're required to share with us through your appointed agent the signed acceptance form and basic financial documents, as we do understand that due to lockdown, it might not be possible for you to share your complete financial documents. We will then organize a GT counseling session for the student, and if he meets our requirement, we will give him or her an approval to proceed with the payment. However, remaining financial must be submitted before the lodgement of visa. Yes, English applicant is required to meet our English requirements. And if you're still waiting for IELTS or TOEFL registration dates due to lockdown, we recommend you to take IELTS indicated test or TOEFL IBT home-based test, as these two will be accepted for online mode. To the next slide.
Yes.
All right, so at this stage, applicant is required to only pay a unit or a subject fees. Once the international borders open or travel restrictions are lifted and the student is ready to lodge his visa application, they can proceed with the payment of remainder fees as well as overseas health cover payment. As you're aware, our visa success rate is relatively relatively high as compared to the industry standards, but unfortunately, if there would be any visa rejection, we will refund 95% of the deposit. Next slide. All right. So, if travel restrictions remain in place in November 2020, then applicants will need to undertake at least 2 units next year in November 2021. This means they will take a pause in the year 2020 and commence course from March 21 intake, and the units which are remaining for this year, they will do next year in November. Students who would commence their classes online will receive ECOE from our side, and when they will be ready to lodge their visa, they will be provided with the revised ECOE. I'm happy to take your questions post the next session. Over to you, Shraddha. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Surbi. Great. So next, we will talk a little bit more about the online learning at MIT. So Surbi will be able to take questions. Please just put them in the chat box. Sorry, I'll just start my video as well. Okay. So Surbi will be able to answer the questions, any questions you've got about this model later on. And then first we will talk a little bit more about the online learning at MIT. And for that, we've got Dr. Tony Jan. Now, a little bit about Dr. Tony Jan before I start. He is the course coordinator of our Bachelor of Networking program, and he's also the associate head of School of IT and Engineering. And now Professor Tony is very well known for being an expert in network security in the enterprise environment, and also specializes in machine learning and sensor networks. So he has over 50 publications under his belt, and his papers have been cited nearly 600 times. So, and he is a pretty keen academic, I have to say, who is well loved and respected by his students, and usually can find him in conversation with students when he's not attending one of his conferences or writing his papers. So over to you, Dr. Tony Jan. Can you switch on your video and then you can get started?
Hi, thank you, Shraddha. I will work really hard to live up to your introduction. Okay. Yeah, about the online learning at MIT, as Surbi and Shraddha mentioned, COVID-19 has brought a lot of challenges and difficulties. But as always, those challenges also present other opportunities. And this opportunity comes in different shapes and sizes. For education sector, I think we are waking up to the potential that we could be teaching on online far more actively. The idea of online teaching was introduced perhaps 20 years ago, but I think with the latest technology and advancement in the video conferencing and so on, now we are getting to the stage that is mature enough to support the students and ensure their learning. So about the online learning at MIT, we are looking at the flexibility, easy access, and key services and online tutors feedback. First of all, flexibility-wise, during for online delivery, all the lectures and tutorials and labs will be provided over the Zoom as we are doing now, and all the content of the lecture and the lab will be video recorded, and they will be available on the Google Drive or other platform where the students can access them at any time. Because it will be online, all the teaching materials, all the learning content will be available from online platform. We are still using Moodle. Moodle is one of the most popular platforms that are being used in many of the higher education institutes. So all our classes will be on the Zoom, and all our lab activities and study materials will be all available on the online. Another thing that we are beginning to identify is some of the lab activities, in particular, because I'm in the IT school, there were quite a few questions whether we can deliver all our lab teachings on online as well. As we investigate and as we develop further, we are beginning to realize there are a lot of virtualized platform we can teach, that including such as the virtual platform, including packet tracers and the other platform where the students can download the simulated learning environment and their home, without any compromise in their learning. And all the instructions will be available from the Zoom, and the record of the instructions will be available in the Moodle. So it allows the students flexibility, study as they need to. And also uh, about the virtual classroom, I was asked by Shraddha to discuss a little bit about what's actually happening in our class as we are delivering lectures on online at this stage. We do have a 2 hours of a lecture session, but if someone speaks for 2 hours, it can be quite tedious and not very engaging. So we have adopted those online learning techniques and philosophy that the lecturers will deliver 15 to 20 minutes of the content, followed by 10 to 15 minutes of a student interaction. Students interact through digital discussion forum or other types of games that we can provide over the Zoom, including the polling, other competitive tools, so that the students will remain engaged and their learning is progressed. Just as an example, in my own class, I teach cybersecurity, and whenever I introduce the new concept in cybersecurity, I ask the students go out and find the case studies that they can discuss, and they will bring the case studies back to discussion forum. So during the lecture, it is becoming more like online seminar type learning, where the students will participate actively, and not only the passive learner, but they will actually provide more information, so the learning happens between the teachers and the students. So far, the students have expressed their satisfaction with our approach, and I think the students' learning are greatly improving. The study materials, as I mentioned, all the recording of the lectures and lab will be available on the Moodle, and all other learning content will be also available on the Moodle. On the Google Drive, if you technology specific. As for the students that may need extra support, we are providing one-on-one mentoring support. That is, one of the advanced students who has completed a particular unit can actually private tutor struggling students so that they can follow the program well. Of course, the lecturers and professors are also available to support the study guidance, but sometimes students can learn the best from the senior students as well. And the counseling service, which I'm sure Shraddha will mention again, are also available online. And also we do have an academic writing service and such name as Center of Learning. They will provide services for the students who are struggling with writing skills and so on. There are a comprehensive suite of the services that are available to ensure students will be successful in their program. There has been quite a topic that students feel isolated during this online delivery time. MIT actually take it very seriously that students should need to feel part of that community. So the student service team have engaged in a number of social activities on online, and photo sharing, some games on online. So the students feel a part of the team, and they feel part of the MIT, although they may be physically far away from the building. Yeah, so students will be provided with the necessary student support, both academic and services. And libraries, of course, can access the online library. And the career services, we are using the online career hub to ensure the interaction between our career advisor and the students can carry on even the online delivery time. That was the quick presentation from my side. Shraddha?
Thank you very much, Dr. Tony. So now we will now go to the question and answer session. So we've got, we'll be taking questions for both Subi and Tony together. Now I can already see a few questions already coming out. The first one is, Subi, how many units or subjects do students have to pay for fee at this time?
All right. So students specifically, if they are for the undergraduate, they have to pay minimum 2 units, and postgraduate minimum one. So they're not required to make a semester fee or a year fee. Only subjects that they will pursue, they're going to pay for that.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next question, can you explain the 95% fee refund in case of visa rejection?
It all depends upon the amount of the deposit. So whatever is the deposit, if the visa is rejected, 95% will be refunded. However, if the visa has been rejected on the basis of fraudulent document, there would be no refund.
Okay, yep. So that's good. That's pretty clear. Got next one. If a student has a 5.5 in IELTS and academics is very good, almost 7.3 CGPA with no backlogs, can he go with ELICOS for masters in IT or any other course?
Unfortunately, we don't, recommend students now sitting for ELI course. What we want our students to, if they have got a good caliber, they can at least retake the test and get a score which is quite easy to get. So I think ELI course would not be a good option, looking at the complete scenario for the visa and everything. So I recommend that particular student should retake the test and get a score of no one less than 5.5, because it's not as high to score.
That's right. And you mentioned that they've got alternatives, isn't it?
Yes, indicator and TOEFL home-based test as well.
Okay, great. Okay, next question. How much fees do students need to pay at initial stage due to this COVID-19? So do you have a breakdown of how much each unit or 2 units would cost?
Approximately, if we talk about our bachelor students, so it would be around 1700 Australian dollar for 1 unit, 1 subject.
Yep.
And if a postgraduate, it would be around 3,500 approximately Australian dollars for 1 subject.
Yeah, okay. I think it's, yes, around there, isn't it? We can always see that you know the exact cost.
So what they need to do is they need to just divide the year fees in 3 parts
Or
3 subjects.
the semester, so on the website you've got the semester fee, so trimester fee, and then you just if you're a bachelor student, you divide it by 4. If you are a master of networking or engineering student, you divide it by 3.
Yes.
The cost of just 1 unit.
1 unit. Yes. Yes.
For MPA students, it is, you still need to divide by 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Hi, Subi. As per the latest update from Mr. Scott Morrison office, they are considering opening borders for students in July 2020. Any update in that scenario? No.
We are still waiting for the department to provide us with the clarity on this. And if we hear from them, definitely we will be passing on the information to everyone. So it's still pending. A decision is pending from the Department of Home Affairs.
Okay, great. Okay, next question. If student is not comfortable in the online classes, he wants to study onshore only, will he get refund or the amount will be adjusted in the rest of the tuition fees?
I would suggest that if the student is not comfortable with the online one, they can always defer to the next intake, because we are also expecting the borders to open soon. So if they are not comfortable, if they started with July, they're not comfortable, the next available, they can defer it to the next available intake before the census, which is 14th August.
Yes. So let's say, I think this is from Rupinder Kaur from IGP Ludhiana. So I think it means that if the student has already enrolled and then they realize, okay, hey, I don't actually like this online studying. Can I? So I believe the census date applies, isn't it? If you sort of let us know and you go through the process of deferring before census, it will get transferred to the next semester. Okay, next, what are the changes MIT has implemented due to COVID-19?
We are online now.
Yes, so well, one of the main changes has been the fact that we're online. So we do allow some students to come on campus for different services if they want. So students prefer to see someone face to face, like a counselor, for example. They can come on campus. But obviously, when you're on campus, there's hardly anyone. It's a bit quiet right now, and all the staff we are like just waiting for the students to come back. But obviously, when you're on campus, there's all these distancing rules, 1.5 meter from each other. You've got hand sanitizer and everything, and our staff we usually try to wear face masks as well, so that we don't, we're just sort of protecting everyone in that sense. And you can do the same as well. You can face masks as well if you want. Other than that, we did also to help our current students who were struggling, especially the ones who just came from their home countries for the first semester. We did open up a fund, I believe it was. What do you call that? I can't remember now. But it was 1 million MIT Foundation Fund, which our students, if eligible, they can apply for that, and it's already our students have already applied for that. Yeah, so that's one of the other things that we did uh, because of this COVID-19. Okay, let me see the next questions. Is there any options for students who appeared for Duolingo English tests? For now, many students find the Duolingo test very handy than the other courses.
Unfortunately, not. We will only have IELTS indicator and TOEFL home-based test as an alternatives to the IELTS test or the PTE or at this stage. So Duolingo is not accepted at the moment.
Yes, I think it'll be good for revision, but as an official test, unfortunately, no. Okay.
No.
All right, next question. Hi, in case the student is almost or completely finished with their first term, then in case of visa rejection, will they still be refunded with 95% for the first term they paid?
Yes,
Okay,
it will be.
all right. Okay, nothing, I already saw that. One changes have been implemented. Oh, okay. What changes have been implemented in GTE process due to COVID?
What we have done is at this stage, we do understand that students would not be able to provide us with the complete financial documents. So we're a bit flexible in terms of we're going to look at the complete profile of an applicant, including the income tax returns and how much the income the complete family is having. And if they are not able to provide for online classes, the complete documentation before they have to apply for the visa, they're required to submit the documentations which are pending. So for online, we are a bit flexible. We're gonna have a GT counseling session with the student. We're gonna explain them about what are the requirements and how the process is gonna be. So, but if they're gonna have a majority of their funds, funded through loan and all, then we have to wait. But if they're showing us partial funds, which are in their saving bank accounts and all, that acceptable.
Okay.
It all depends on case to case basis and on a complete profile of an applicant.
Okay. So
They are from a high market, so we have to be a bit very careful because we have to visa sensitive for that particular market is better.
sorry, could you repeat the last part again, Srubi? I didn't quite catch you.
Right. So when we consider the GT application, we do make sure that from visa sensitive markets like high risk markets, Punjab, Gujarat, Haryana, you have to be very very careful in terms of their funding and everything. So we will be just looking at the overall profile of an applicant, and if there would be any way we can consider an applicant with the funds that they're going to be providing us at this stage, we'll be happy to consider.
Okay. So next question, what are the financials that students have to provide for starting the online classes?
It's all case to case basis. Income tax returns, saving bank account, fixed deposits, all of this. These are the basic ones. So which
Okay.
they have to anyway show. So it all depends upon what kind of a profile. As I mentioned before, it depends upon a profile on a case to case basis.
Okay, this is another question. If a student has already received an offer letter for the July intake, what about its validity?
If they are looking forward to proceed ahead with the online classes, then they just need to get in touch with their agent or connect with us, we will be providing them with the revised offer letter stating that they would be going for a online mode now. And accordingly, they just need to provide us with the acceptance. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Guru, she's asking TOEFL, what is the TOEFL score required? Can you hear me?
It is it's equivalent to IELTS 6 with 5.5 minimum.
Yeah, I think that one will might.
Masters of Professional Accounting, it is 6.5, no when less than 6.
Okay. So is there a chance of rising tuition fees in case I have to defer my intake?
It all depends. Next year definitely we have to wait for the academic board and the.
That's right. Yeah, so usually the tuition fee would change every year. If you come for the November intake, it will stay the same. But if you were to come for March, there is a chance that it will increase. But you know, sometimes it doesn't increase as well. So it really depends, as Suvi mentioned on the academic board. Okay. Okay. Would IELTS GT score be considered? I'm not sure what GT score.
That's general, I think.
General. Okay.
This will be.
It will be, but I believe you have to score
academic well for the visa purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
So they have to forward us the score, and we will have we'll do a proper assessment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Will student need to pay any OSHC amount if they want to pursue online?
Not at this stage. Not at this stage. But when they're going to apply for the visa, they will be required to pay the overseas health.
Yeah. So OSHC you don't have to pay right now. When can I attend the campus classes and when should I do visa filing?
When the borders are open.
Okay, what about the issues we're facing here with poor internet and electricity? It's monsoon season here now in some of our places, especially mine. There is heavy electricity during, there is no electricity during heavy rain and internet is not really good. So he's talking about the challenges that they may face here.
For online, the benefit is that they can go for a pre-recorded sessions as well. So that way, I think if they are not able to attend the live sessions, they can always go for the recorded ones.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we're having quite a lot of questions, so we really don't have much time to go for the next few things. So, let me see. So I'm getting way too many questions. So what we may have to do is we'll have to get back to them probably in person via email.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, if everyone can just put in their emails, leave their emails here, and then we can go on to the next session of the webinar. The session is what we'll be covering about is the Bachelor of Business. So I've got Associate Professor Monica Duran for this. Monica, are you on? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So just a little bit bio about Professor she's the business course coordinator, undergraduate business course coordinator, and she's the discipline leader for management, academic leader for business incubation and innovation. So she is an expert in corporate governance and economic studies, and before MIT, she had a pretty impressive record as an associate professor in finance and has extensive professional experience in Deloitte Touche Tomatsu. So over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Shraddha. Shraddha, before I start, can you please clean up the screen a little bit? Thank you. And for all the attendees in this webinar, if you have any questions, you can actually type up in the chat box instead of drawing on the screen, because we need to keep our slides nice and informative for everyone. So it would be great if you drop your comments in the chat box instead. And as I speak, another person just draw on the screen. So
Oh God.
yes. If you rather you go to the annotation tool and then click on the eraser and you can rub off what's on the screen.
Yes, my computer is playing up a little bit as well. So all right. There you go.
Thank you. That's much nicer now. So hi everyone, I am Monica and I look after the Bachelor of Business in the School of Business in Melbourne, and we have very exciting program. Just yesterday we just completed our Impact Days rather. So many people joined us and it was really great to see how well our students have done. Before I get into more details about the Impact Day, I will first draw your attention to the accreditations that our programs have. So for the Bachelor of Business in Accounting, it is accredited to CPA Australia, Chartered Accountants, and IPA. So, and our Bachelor of Business in Marketing is accredited by the Australian Marketing Institute. Now, you might wonder why is it important that I study in a program that has a professional accreditation. It is important because you can take it anywhere in the world and get a job. Um, as you can see, there are many places where you can complete your tertiary education. But to get one that is internationally recognized, a lot of employers look for professional accreditations. They want to know what are the standards of the tertiary education that you have completed. So it is a quick way that they will refer to the CPA, for example, or chartered accountants, and they will see, oh, okay, it is recognized by these professional bodies, and therefore the standard is maintained. So that is why it is important to know that our program is, our courses is accredited by these professional bodies. And if you talk to our career advisor, Mr. Garrett, he will tell you many good stories that our graduates have traveled around the world and be able to find employment through MIT studies. So it is very good that we have all these accreditations for our program. And our course structure is very easy to follow, and it also provides flexibility to our students. It is made out of core units, so there are about 8 core units in the first year that regardless of what major you're doing, you have to complete those units. So they include economics, business statistics, management, marketing, law, and also IT units. So, and then in the second year and the third year, you move into your major specific unit. That is when you explore and go deeper with what the specialist knowledge is and the skill development attached to the major that you are passionate about. And there are 4 elective units that you're going to do across the second and the third year. Now you might be wondering, why do I have to complete these core units in the first year? That is to provide you the flexibility should you want to change major. Just today I received an email from our assisting student and he's like, I'm not so sure about accounting, I'm actually now more passionate about marketing. Is it okay if I change major? Well, of course, because he hasn't actually started his second year. He is only completing his first year, and all the credits that he has gained from the core units that he has completed in the first year is transferable and applicable to all the other majors in marketing, management, accounting, digital marketing. So that is when we give you the opportunity in the first year to explore what you're really interested in. And then he's like, maybe I don't want to change my major. Maybe I want to get deeper into another area such as marketing, right? So the 4 elective units are perfect for you to explore that. So for the student who emailed me yesterday, he can complete his major accounting units, and then if he wants, he can complete 4 elective units in marketing. As long as he complete it in a sequence where he has fulfilled the prerequisites, it's fine. So you can see that you have completed a major, and then with these 4 elective units that kind of give you a specialization in marketing. And a lot of employers really like that because it really shows your passion in the area that you want to develop a career in. At the same time, you also have a secondary field of specialist knowledge, which you can take it further next time if you want to do a master degree or if you want to run your own business. You have that knowledge that back you up. Shraddha, can we move to the next slide? Thank you. So these are the units that are offered in each of our major. So for example, accounting, we have very exciting units besides the foundations of accounting in financial and management accounting. We also teach you accounting information systems and cloud technologies. Now, these days, who doesn't need IT knowledge? Everyone needs IT knowledge. Everyone needs digital literacy. Everybody needs digital skills. That is how you can get ahead. So, and then on top of that, we have forensic accounting and fraud detection. That is really an up and coming, interesting field because if you look at COVID-19, there are so many online scams going on and a lot of hacking into tax offices, databases, and that you need to really be able to look into that. And this trimester, I have a capstone unit project that is tied with the industry clients. They actually look into a fraud framework for a business. So what they want to do is the clients want our students to actually examine the current regulations by the Australian government in terms of fraud, and then they gave our students their company data to actually explore how to develop a database that could identify past cases and also develop a new set of criteria to identify potential fraud in the future and how to prevent it. So these are very exciting developments in accounting fields that even before our students graduate, they have a chance to explore it and develop their specialist knowledge and skill in an exciting topic like this. And for management, we have entrepreneurship, we have strategic HR management, which is important in today's world where you have a lot of international employers. At the same time, you have a lot of people who actually move around the world and work and gain their experience. Sorry. So in that case, we really need to have that in-depth knowledge about how to help businesses to identify and seek talent, acquire them and maintain them, retain them, and to create a good and healthy corporate culture so that there are rooms for development in the future, not just for the business, but also for the individuals, right? Because no organization can last long without having good people in the company and the business. And next, we're going to look at two other exciting majors, which is marketing and digital marketing. Now, these disciplines are becoming more important over time because of the development of online trading, e-commerce. There are a lot of information out there. So when you want to buy something these days, the first place you go is not a shop. Is that you go online and check out, ooh, what is this product called? Sometimes you don't even know what you are looking for, and the internet will provide you recommendations. So how do you help your business develop sales, for example, improve the growth in the future, and identify new markets so that you can sell the products that you have, or even to improve the products and services that you are delivering. Because without innovation, you're not going to last long. Someone else will come in and go, wow, that is a good idea, but I can make it better. So that is why marketing and digital marketing are so important to today's business. So with these four majors, no matter which major you pick, you will have very interesting, exciting elective units that you can back yourself up with another specialization. I'm just waiting for the slide to come up and it's blank. Exciting stuff. Work integrated learning. This is what we live, breathe at MIT. Work integrated learning is the way that you need to study these days. It's not just from textbook, but it's also from the experience you can gain from the industry. Like I said from the beginning, that we had a very exciting day yesterday. We held our Impact Day, which showcased our students' project. For example, here you can see Navoda, which you will have a chance to chat to later on. She completed her project on a dry loo business. Now you might think, what is dry loo? Dry loo means a sanitation system without water. What is that? What an innovative idea, right? But it's such an important idea because there are still many areas around the world in today's very developed environment that does not have proper water system going through all the residential areas. So there are designers and innovators that come up with this dry loo sanitation system that can help maintain hygiene, which can prevent diseases from spreading. So Navoda has come up with and her team, of course, have come up with very, very innovative way to show how the business that come up with this system in terms of developing the pricing strategies have to be very competitive. And then at the same time, who do you sell it to? Who do you target? Which country do you go to? Who should be your spokesperson? And she can tell you she has proposed to enlist some Hollywood stars to talk about it because it's such a great environmental topic that will attract a lot of attention. Now, yesterday, two groups that won the top prize, which is the best project of the trimester for the undergraduate Bachelor of Business program and the MPA program. The first one was about a smart helmet. They proposed a commercialization strategy for a company that has developed a prototype of a smart helmet using IoT technology. And this is after the Impact Day, I was talking to Associate Professor Tony Jan, and I say, we have to work together, Tony. We have to bring our students in IT Insight and business together because this is the future world, right? Tony has raised his hand. He must have something to contribute. You have something to say, Tony.
I agree, Monica. This is a beautiful new world where the IT and business can be combined and students can really benefit from it.
Yeah, so we are talking about, maybe we will collaborate first on a forex trading platform that both Tony and my students can work together on a project with an external client that will really boost the quality and outcome of the project. So for work integrated learning, we have a very exciting capstone unit called industry-based capstone units. In all schools, all courses, we have that unit. And with that, we get our students out to work with the clients and they have to meet with the clients. And I saw one of the query in the chat room just now. How do we get industry exposure? Actually, we realized since we have moved online, it's much easier. The client is very accessible. We use Zoom, we use Skype, we use collaborative tools like Wiki, blogs, We use Google Doc, we use Google Slides, we use a lot of online tools which help to connect our students and the clients and the supervisors at MIT. We assign a supervisor to each project to help our students. So that's the sort of things that is so easily achieved, and I have never seen our students get so much done before we actually move online. So it was really a great development. And Shraddha, are we moving to the next slide? Thank you. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm very happy to answer. And I think Shahid has raised his hand for a while now. Maybe Shahid, do you have a question?
Thank you. So what was the name of the student? Sorry, who had a question?
Yeah, Shahid raised hand, but he's not coming onto the camera to ask the question, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. So any question that is not related to business as well. So if you've got any questions related to the Bachelor of Business, please put them in now. So I see that a lot of students have questions about COEs and visas. So Surbhi will be answering them. I believe she is answering them behind the scenes. Any questions about business, please let us know now, or else we will be moving on to the Masters of Master of Professional Accounting next. I think it should be fine. Yeah, we should.
Yep. Maybe they will ask after the MPA as well.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
Okay, so another very exciting program we have at MIT is the Master of Professional Accounting course. And again, it's accredited by all these professional bodies, because if you want to graduate from a master degree that will get you exciting jobs, you really want to be recognized by professional bodies like this. That will take you anywhere in the world. And the course structure is actually quite simple for MPA students to follow. There are 16 units that make up the Master of Professional Accounting program that you will spend 2 years to complete it. So in the first year, you will have 8 units. In the second year, you have another 8 units, and there are 2 elective units that you are allowed to choose any units that you want to complete. With the MPA program, there are some tech-based units. Like I say, everyone needs to develop a digital literacy and digital skills. That is why we introduce the business analytics and data intelligence for our students to develop software skills. You need to be able to operate with some accounting software. Otherwise, how do you get a job, right? The first thing that your manager will ask you, maybe Shraddha can also share with you, although she's not an accountant, but every job you get, first day you come in, you set up the computer, right? You sit down and then you have to do logins, and then you have to explore a lot of different systems. So digital skills and digital literacy is really important. And then we also teach you about theory and current issues in accounting. And in the final semester, you're going to do an industry-based capstone unit, just like what the bachelor students will do. But we really expect you to lift up the standard way above the bachelor students. Like, for example, the 3 finalists at the Impact Day yesterday from the MPA course, one of them used a linear programming model to try to improve a factory process management schedule. So they actually, down to very specific details, identify which day there are a lot of wastage, how do you reduce the wastage, and then how do you improve the inputs, and how do you maximize the output That is to optimize profit for the business. And the other two groups, the winning groups is a group that looks into a business of a golf course in Australia. So they recommended some really cool strategies, like for example, have night golf and use a golf course for art forums and show and put them on Instagram. And so all these cool strategies, then they would do a lot of independent research about it, market analysis, business analysis, industry analysis. And also on top of that, because of all these strategies, they then develop a 5-year profit and loss forecast, a balance sheet forecast, and also cash flow analysis. So it is so comprehensive. The clients was so impressed that after the meeting, the clients email us and say they have never seen such good quality project outcome and students coming from anywhere in Australian educational institutions. These are our students with very good quality and attributes that employers would want to hire. And on top of that, we also teach students about auditing, taxation law, because if you think about it, accounting has very broad field. You might want to explore, for example, accounting tax implications. How would that help businesses to maximize the cash flow, for example? So things like that is very important. And also, there's one very important unit that students will have to complete before they graduate, which is accounting research. Accounting research will let you develop very strong independent learning skills, research skills, analytical skills, so that next time in your professional career, you are able to solve any problems that you come across. And elective units, we have very interesting elective units. I taught the industry-based capstone projects units for the Master of Professional Accounting, and I did a quick survey with them. There were about 82 students in my workshop, and I asked them, in 10 years' time, where do you see yourself? About half of my students in the workshop told me they want to be an entrepreneur. They want to have their own business. It is so exciting to see their passion, right? There's one guy who told me that he wants to become a chef. That's great. I hope he can cook well, and if he runs a restaurant himself next time, he will have great accounting knowledge that he can use to run a very successful business. So that's the sort of things you need to think about. So elective units, we are helping our students to explore where their passion is. So we are offering them marketing and management as an elective, professional communication, ethics, strategic management, digital and electronic, commerce, and entrepreneurship and innovation. So those are the very exciting specialization, if you like, that an accountant can have. Okay, so the study plan, I have briefly touched upon it just now, that these are the 8 units that you're going to study in year 1 and another 8 units that you're going to study in year 2, and you will graduate with a highlight by completing the industry-based capstone project. So any questions about the courses that we deliver in the School of Business, please feel free to have a chat with me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Monica. So I can't see any questions related yet. Okay, let's see.
Maybe they will ask Navoda more questions.
That's right, yes. So next we've got Nawada, one of our current students in the Bachelor of Business. So she will be speaking to us. I will ask her a few questions about her online study experience at the moment. So thank you very much for coming on, Nawada. How are you going today?
Hi, I'm going very good.
That's great, Nawada. Good to have you here. So, Nawada, tell us a little bit of, I know I can already see that we're putting your name in your what you're studying. How has studying via live lectures and tutorials been?
So online learning obviously could be challenging to students who are used to the physical classroom, which in fact was the case for me. But although it did take some time to transition, it did happen quite smoothly. And I really thought this was the main reason this happened was because the structure was planned quite well, and the lecturers and tutors were very supportive as well, and there were a lot of resources made available, which made the transition quite smooth for me. And it was also very comfortable in a way for me because I'm in my personal space where I can always have a cup of coffee next to me and listen and contribute to the lectures. And I also had the ability to connect with students from the Sydney campus as well as the Melbourne campus, so there was some interaction involved. So where, social distancing can get very lonely. So that so there was a bit of filling any gaps in what I've learned. So that was quite useful as well. So it is
Yeah.
so far.
No, that's good because that was going to be my next question, whether the recordings, of the lectures has helped with the revision and all that stuff. Yeah, so yes, isn't it? How about the resources on Moodle and AMS? Has it been good for online study? Has it helped you sort of navigate all that stuff? And was it easy to navigate as well?
So there have been no problems accessing the AMS and Moodle because both the sites have been very convenient regardless of whether it's offline or online. So, and there was also other information available to students such as, matters about COVID and student assistance and student events and so much more on the Moodle and AMS. So they were quite helpful as well and it made us very informed as well.
Yeah, so it was pretty central,
Yeah.
I suppose, wasn't it? Easy to access and stuff. And I believe did you also borrow ebooks from the library because since you can't, you won't physically go on campus?
So I was on campus in week 1, so I did borrow my books, but however, usually I would have to renew the books online myself, but it was very convenient this time because the books would get automatically renewed by the library, and also there is access to ebooks and journal articles 24/7 through the online library, so it did really help me out throughout the trimester.
Yeah, I think you were really, really good and proactive and, borrowed the books really fast, but what I heard from the librarian was there was a lot of ebooks that students borrowed and ebooks, membership, borrowing, the number of ebooks being borrowed shot up. So it's good. It's really good that, students also have that access if they can
Definitely.
access the books. Yeah. So tell us a bit about the online events that you took part in as well.
So I did take part in mostly the end of week chats, once as a speaker and many more times as a participant. So they were held every Friday where different speakers would be presented and students will have the opportunity to ask questions and share their experiences. It was quite a very positive experience because it was very informal and students would interact with each other and the speaker, and it really was worthwhile to be having that kind of interaction.
Okay, so you didn't take part in the video competition, the photography competition that we had and all that stuff?
No. I took part in as much as possible, but yeah.
Because you're on your last year as well, aren't you? So you're really trying to concentrate.
Yeah, trying to fit everything in, so
exactly. You could do that in the first 2 years. Okay, no worries at all. So final question, tell us about the industry-based project that you recently completed last semester.
So I, along with 3 other members, were a part of this industry project for our client Asset Global to create a social media marketing plan for one of its CSR projects, which is known as the Global Sanitation Sustainability Project, which addresses the poor sanitation practices with a waterless toilet system. The team conducted analysis on competitors, industry, target audience, market strategies, and a content plan for the client, varying from all sorts of marketing strategies. The experiences were really very valuable because I had the opportunity to work for real life clients with projects that could actually create an impact on society and the world at large. And the facilitators and the career advisors and also the industry clients were always happy to help us in any way, regardless of whether it's resources or support. And I also had the opportunity to showcase my abilities in any way. So, and to be able to present that in a very large crowd was worthwhile as well. And it does give students that sort of edge to, prepare yourself to what to expect in the industry, and also increases their confidence in whatever the work they want to do in future. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Nawada. That will be it for now. Thank you so much for coming.
No worries.
And sort of helping, students sort of, get an idea of, what you can expect as a student in online studies in IT. We will go on to the next session. What would we have here? Let's see. Okay, so we have the School of IT and Engineering. We've got Professor Johnson Agbinia, who will be presenting on the Bachelor of Engineering Technology, majoring in telecommunications. So Professor Johnson, could you switch on your video, please?
Okay. Thank you, Shraddha, and welcome potential students to this session. It's a great delight to be able to talk to you wherever you are in the world. It could be good morning, but here it is getting to evening. I would like to discuss with you about the engineering courses in my school. We have two of them, and I'll start with the Bachelor of Engineering. The Bachelor of Engineering is accredited by Engineers Australia, Sydney Accord. Sydney Accord means that all the institutions in the world who cooperate, and these are international universities in the US, India, Korea, UK, you name them, assembled in Sydney, and they decided on the structure of what an international bachelor's degree should be. And they signed on to that. And it is those institutions who award the degrees with a Sydney Accord on it. It also means that if you go to anywhere in the world with that degree, it is one, recognized by the institutions, by the ministries of education in those countries, and also by employers in those countries. And the second aspect of it is that it puts you as a global engineer. So you can go to any country with a degree and get employed at the same level with other graduates from other countries as well. This degree is only, we are one of the leading private institutions, and I know that it is the only one that has accreditation for the Bachelor of Engineering Telecommunications. I do know also that there are a few institutions that have tried to get it without being successful in receiving that accreditation. And I said that because you will know that your degree is actually of international quality. Next slide, please. Next slide. The course structure for the Bachelor of Engineering Technology, with emphasis in telecommunication, is unique to MIT and a few other leading institutions as well. The reasons are that we have divided the course into three major building blocks. I always like to compare the way the course is structured to the way you build a house. At the point where you decide that you are going to build that beautiful house that you want to live in, you have the land, which means you have the admission, and at that point you decide to lay a good foundation, a strong foundation, one that can hold the structure of the house with the contents. The next thing a good builder will do really is to add beauty to the house, adding specialist units, windows, good bedroom, good electronics in the house, good painting, and of course, beautify the inside to where you want your house to be. At the end, you live in it and gain the experience, enjoy the house. And then when you do that, you now know that it is hard. You run back from work to your house because you know it's a place you want to be. It's exactly the way we have created the course structure for the Battle of Engineering. In the first year, we offer the students a set of units which build their foundations, one in mathematics. Then we also build foundations in electronic engineering. We then build foundations in other support courses like networking, which allows you to digress in future if you really want to digress in future to other areas. And then we lay the foundation for the core telecommunications. We start to teach you what telecommunication is. In the second year, we then build upon that foundation. We then deepen the core content of the telecommunications that you are in the school to study. And this is done with lecturers who have worked in industry for many years. Some are authors of their own books in telecommunications, and they also use them to teach you in the classroom. These are books that are being used by other institutions in the world for teaching their own students as well. During that second year, we start to prepare you to go to industry because we believe that a successful engineer, a practical engineer, should be able to use his or her hands in addition to using his or her brain. And then he or she should be able to interact with other engineers as well in industry. So we prepare you through a workshop, and that workshop guides you on how to apply, whom to apply to, when to apply, what you need to say at interviews, how to appear at interviews, how to react with other persons at work as well, and what are the regulations that guide your practice in industry. In the third year, we then start to beautify this house and allow it to flourish. And that house really is our graduate that will soon be a graduate in a few months' time. We do two things. One of them is we give you a project, and that project is a challenge to the student to ask the student to demonstrate that what we have taught her or him within the first 2 years is actually he or she is able to practice it. Then we assign to you a supervisor, an expert in that topic, and that person is able to guide you how to go about making the project to work and to tell you what mistakes you are making, how to correct those mistakes. And then till the end of that first semester, you lay the foundation for that project. In the second semester, in the third year as well, you progress towards the end of that project. And then in that session, we allow you to now build that material. You build the project, and then out of that project comes out a beautiful product. Like yesterday, we had students in my school also presenting on their projects. So if you look at the course structure, I've described them in the previous slide. You have mathematics in year 1, platform technologies in year 2 will allow you to play with computers, put them apart, put them back in to work again. It will teach you programming. And these are programming for modern programming, like Java, like Python, will teach you. And we allow you to learn them and to practice with topics that are practical. And you look at year 2, I've spoken about the preparation for industry experience. It's an 8 weeks industry experience. And that preparation is for a whole semester before we let you in to industry. And we add software engineering. We add digital communication. If you carry a handset today, and I think most of you have a handset, it is built out of digital communication. The software in it will teach you the foundations on how to create those software. And then we add more core telecommunication, like things on base station, 3G, 4G, 5G, which start to teach you and deepen your experience. And of course, in the final year, then you go and do your project and show your competence and your expertise. And then we let you go into new areas like satellite communication, which allows us to connect continents to continents, and mobile communication. In addition to that, we then introduce a bit of wireless networking security, which allows you to now say, if I needed to go into a master's degree, where can I do my master's degree? What should I do? We add security, we add wireless networking. Next slide, please. Now, that is the master's degree now is the next thing I would like to discuss with you and explain the structure. The structure is quite strong. Let me start by saying that the master's degree is also accredited. It is accredited with Washington Accord. Again, the countries met in Washington. They decided on the structure of the course, and they said if the course meets that requirement, we will accredit that course, and they can offer it, and then their graduates could work in any country and be recognized. It is a 2-year course. The first year is building on your bachelor's degree foundation, and we make that foundation stronger. You will study also other units in the networking area, because the industry now is interested in networking, both telecom networks and computer networks. Then we teach you how to protect your network using network security. If you build a network and people are just normally intersecting it and using it, you don't get happy because you are losing funds. We teach you how to protect that network. In addition, we now teach you core 3G, 4G, 5G, and in the near future we'll add 6G. How to program your handsets. We now add signal processing in the form that allows you to write their programs, test them, and if they test and work in the laboratory, you can put them into handsets as well. Then we allow you to learn the basics of network project management. Engineers in general, when you go to work in the industry, you handle a variety of projects, and you have many people working with you, and you need to know how to work with people, how to plan your project, how to budget for it, how to implement it, when to do it without losing money. And then we teach you telecommunication systems, which now combines all the structures you have, like wireless communication, internet, satellite communication, Internet of Things. You can now put them all together and create a big project or network. Of course, then we also allow you to go to industry for 12 weeks. Here you go as a professional engineer, and you are employed by that company for 3 months, and we ask you to stay there and practice. The beauty of our industry experience is that at least 40% of students who go to industry experience are employed before they return to the institute, which means really in those 3 months, you work and they see you, they say, wow, I want this engineer. And they employ you and keep you and pay you, while we now arrange how you can finish your studies while you are working as well. In year 2, we allow you to take electives. You also have projects, project 1 and project 2, where now you demonstrate your capability in electronics, in telecommunications, in networking, in modeling your project, building your project, testing it, and displaying it to customers. For example, yesterday when we had Impact, 3 of the MNG projects, we gave 4 in the public domain. 3 of them, there were companies in the room, one wanted 2, another institution asked for another one. 3 out of 4, 75% hit in one Impact day. 3 out of 4 projects. Now, we can transform your future to be like that as well. As you come in, trust us. We have hands in-house to get you to that point as well. Next slide. So I've spoken about industry experience. These are really the roof and the beauty of the graduate. You go to industry for 12 weeks, you stay there for 12 weeks. At the end of those 12 weeks, you come back, you write a report for the school. And the reports, believe me, the reports are taken by engineers Australia, so that if you go and approach them to say, look, this is my degree from MIT, recognize it for me. They will ask the school, give me the report for the industry experience for this student, and combine it with the report for projects 1 and 2, and we send it to them. Already they know that the degree you have is accredited. What they are trying to check at that point is that you have actually matured as an engineer, as a professional engineer. So those projects are in the 3rd year. The first semester of the 3rd year, we give you the project 1. You prepare for it. You learn your project management. You can now manage that project yourself. And you arrange it where you can so that it is implemented in project 2. And the supervisor for project 1 and 2 is the same person, so they can guide you towards the end of that project successfully. You also write a project report, and that project report is assessed within the school as normally like any other unit you will study. We have learned from globalization, and we know that globalization is an opportunity to us, not only to get you to Melbourne and Sydney, but also to provide you with access to your own countries and other countries. And it's a two-polar thing that globalization offers us. And we believe that our students will and are at the forefront of connecting the world and also helping to build a better future worldwide. And we can lead you to that point. Thank you. Next slide. I spoke a bit about Impact Day, which combines the successes of our students in all the degrees within the institute. We call it Impact because it is a day we showcase that our students have started to make impact on the world. And we allow them through many projects. For example, machine learning. To develop Internet of Things platforms, to create sensors and connect work with sensors, to create Internet of Things devices, build them, connect them, you make them work together. And then at the end, what you achieve through the project. We had a project also which classifies CVs. In today's world, when you go to an employer, your CVs or resumes are classified by software. And we have taught our students, some of our students how to do this, and we give projects to them to do exactly that. Impact Day is a 2-day program. The whole institution is in, companies are invited, engineers are invited, business people are invited, and you are really the person to showcase yourself to those companies. And I've said already, at least 3 of our projects yesterday were taken by companies. And we didn't have to do anything. They listened to the students and they made a decision for themselves that these are good projects. Therefore, we would like to develop them further as well. Impact Day is once every semester, so it doesn't matter when you study, you will have an opportunity to showcase your project during Impact Day. Thanks.
Very much, Professor Johnson. We will now go on to the next session, which is the Q&A session. I also have Monica, Professor Monica, because we had a question come in a little bit later about the MBA. So we had a student ask about whether we provide an internship for the MBA after, finish the degree.
Yes, so yesterday at the industry forum, we have recruitment agents attending, and there were speakers at the industry forum of Impact Day, and we were discussing seeking internships for our business students, both in MPA and also Bachelor of Business. So we are working towards that and collaborating with the industry to provide internship opportunities to our students.
Yeah. The other thing also to note is we do have our careers advisor, Jared, who can sort of help you through the process of finding an internship, through finding a job after you graduate. So the main key thing which you will hear from Jared is you have to start seeing him early on. Don't leave it till the last year of your degree. To start from even the first year of your degree, and get coaching from him, attend his workshops, because that will prepare you by the end of it to go out there and smash the interview that you'll get. I will assure you, you will get lots and lots of interview once you get coaching from Jared. So Jared is coming on today as well towards the end, so stay tuned for his session. He will provide lots of information about the process of finding projects for your actual course as well. So every course has a project that you work on for an actual company. Jared will teach you how to do that. So I'm just waiting on any questions regarding engineering. We don't seem to have any, so we will move on. If you have any, please put that through. If we've missed it out now, we will talk about it later in the next session. So for the next session, which is all about the Bachelor of Networking, for that, I have to go on Dr. Savitri. Dr. Savitri Bevinakopa is the deputy head of the School of IT and Engineering. Dr. Savitri, if you could please switch on your video as well so we can see you. Dr. Savitri has a PhD in computer and mathematical science. She is an expert in computer architecture, wireless networks, sensor networks, and more. She's got 2 books, 7 journals, 50 plus conference papers and counting, and she's got multiple award-winning paper presentations, including on topics such as internetworking setup. So she is an expert in networking. Dr. Savitri, are you there?
No.
Here you go. There you go. Awesome. Welcome, Dr. Savitri.
Hello, thank you very much. How are you, Shraddha?
Good. So we've got a few hundred participants at the moment. We've got our education agents offshore as well as offshore students wanting to you. So you'll have to quickly go through the Bachelor of... Actually, I just realized that
Tony.
Bachelor of Networking is Tony. That's right. Sorry, my bad. Is Dr. Tony available?
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Okay, sorry about that, about the mix-up.
No, it's quite good.
Yeah.
I was actually waiting to hear from Professor Savitri so
Yes.
that I can learn from it.
I know.
I
we'll
missed
have
that
to wait
opportunity
for that
now.
one.
Okay. Yes, I'm back. My name is Tony, and I'll be talking about Bachelor of Networking program at MIT. The Bachelor of Networking program at MIT is accredited by Australian Computing Society. It represents that MIT course is recognized internationally. So the degree that you will get from MIT will be recognized internationally. It's a great recognition for the course at MIT because according to the latest information, there are about 120 private higher education institutes, and there's about 20-30 public universities. And ACS has accredited only 20 to 30 institutions out of 150, and MIT is one of them. And according to some data, I think MIT is the only private higher education institute that has been accredited by Australian Computer Society. And it's a great testimony to the professors, including Savitri and Johnson, to accomplish this. The course will follow through the core unit in expectation that the students may not have any computing background, so they will learn the hardware, software, databases, and programming. And then in the second year, they will be selecting the majors. We are currently offering networking major, which is generic, followed by the cybersecurity major. And in the final year, you can widen your horizon by selecting some unit, including in the business units. If we can go to next slides. Some example units are here that if you choose the major in networking, which is most popular one, you will study network applications, advanced network design, virtual private network. Most of these topics are in great demand in Australia with NBN. And after the COVID, I think there's even more demand for network specialists. And if you choose to study a major in cybersecurity, you're focusing more on the security perspective of it, where you will learn the wireless network security, ethical hacking and security governance and so on. So you will be the security tester and the cybersecurity expert to defend enterprises, and they get paid a lot of money. If we go to next slide. So even if you don't choose a particular major in cybersecurity, you can still choose some electives in the final year. As such, this, and they can specialize in cybersecurity or cloud networks and software engineering. Cloud network is in great demand because many of the enterprises are now moving on to the cloud network, and software engineering because some of the IT experts having good understanding of the project management and software life cycle, they can find a great career in IT management. So if we can go to next slide. As per other courses, BNet also enjoys work integrated learning. Most of our lecture contents are fairly based on the case studies. Those case studies are borrowed from the real life cases. Most of the assignment also is based on the real life cases. So the students will have ample opportunity to face the real life cases. And as mentioned by Professor Johnson as well as the Monica, was that we do have an impact day that demonstrates and highlights the capstone project, which is also sponsored by the industry. So the students should be job ready when they graduate. So if we go to next slides. Yeah, some of the example of the project that was presented yesterday, along same as other courses, that they were looking at the smart technologies using artificial intelligence to automate some of the technologies that already existed, but making it faster and making it more convenient. One exciting example from the last term is that there was a medical project where artificial intelligence technology was used to assist the medical doctors to make a diagnosis, and they will improve the judgment of the medical doctors as well as making it much more convenient. For example, if the patient is in the remote area and they cannot see the doctors physically, they can use some of these tools to get some first assessment. So it could be a very exciting project for very large countries, such as in Australia or China or India. Okay, if we go to next slide. There was a quick report on and quick update on the Bachelor of Networking that I provided. It remains a very popular course with a strong cohort, and we have a mixture of domestic students and international students. And students should be gaining what we call the good training in global citizenship, because with this COVID and this online new environment breaking out, I think the students needs to be trained to be able to work in the new era of globalization. So we aim to have our students trained for global citizenship. That's the information for BNet. If we have any questions, Shweta?
Yep, thank you very much, Professor. Okay, I can't see any. We've already answered a question regarding an engineering course, internships. So that's in the chat box.
It's okay.
Internship opportunities. Yep. Okay. Cool. So next, the session will be about Master of Networking. So I'll have to ask Professor Savitri to come back on again. This
Thank you.
is
Thank
it
you,
is a
Shraddha.
session. Yes. Thank you very much, Tony.
Okay, thank you very much, Shraddha. So, my name is Savitri Bevinakoppa. I'm a deputy head of the school, as well as the course coordinator for Master of Networking and Graduate Diploma of Networking. It's very popular course, Master of Networking, and some of the students from Bachelor of Networking, they move on to the Master of Networking as well. Having said that, we have applied for Master of Data Analytics as well. That is really popular at the moment. So if you think that from Bachelor of Networking, if you want to move on to the Masters, you can move to the Master of Data Analytics as well. There are a lot of opportunities here. So even though it is a very specific course as a computer networking, very popular course. And also we don't cover just not on the the computer networking with the basic foundation and this and that. We do cover really wide range of the topics which are related to the computer networking. And as Tony mentioned about the accreditation, Bachelor of Networking and Master of Networking is in the same boat. So both of the courses are accredited by Australian Computer Society. What does it mean is like Australian Computer Society is a professional organization, and whatever the degree which is recognized by ACS is recognized all over the world. So you don't have to worry about the degree which is from MIT. You can take that degree to any of the countries, and it is recognized as a master's degree. And in this course, this is a 2 years course. First year is definitely the foundational course, and second year is more in advance. And we don't have to, the students don't have to have a IT background in bachelor's degree. So you can get into the Master of Networking because we have two streams. One stream is called as a non-cognate, and other one is a cognate. So non-cognate is nothing but the students, those don't have any IT background, and we do have some of the students with the medical background, and some of them are like business, accounting, and pharmacy. So a lot of us, we have more number of non-cognate students than cognate students one way, and cognate students are nothing but those who have an IT background. So we had two streams, and in those two streams, we have the specific the core units, and some of them are electives. For cognate students, electives are available, but for non-cognate students, you had to go through the basic the units such as programming and database, because those are the basic foundational knowledge where you can build on top of that one to any of the unit. So because of that one, we made it as a compulsory for non-cognate students as a programming. So you don't have to have a programming knowledge prior to your Master of Networking, and you don't have to have a database. So we will teach you from the beginning, from scratch. So as you can see here, all MNET units are of 20 credit points. What does it mean? In bachelor's, you have 4 units. We can call it as a units or subjects in one trimester. But in masters, we have 3 units per trimester. So each unit is of 20 credit points. So total is 60 credit points per trimester. So it's a 2 years degree, and each trimester you have 3 units. But it's not 4 hours per unit, it is 5 hours per unit. And mainly because it's we have 3 units, we cover a lot of in-depth topic into that one. So you have 2 hours lecture, 2 hours laboratory, and 1 hours tutorial. Tutorial is mainly based on real world case scenario. That means whatever is going on in the world, so we take that as a case study, and we talk about it as it is related to the unit. So as you can see on the screen, so the general units are professional issues of IT, professional practice. very important in Australia. Professional, even in whole world. So professional practice is very important because you need to know about the code of conduct, and you need to know about ethics and academic misconduct, and all that one is taught in the professional issues of IT. And then databases, software engineering, network applications, and these are the general the units what we are teaching. And on top of that one, very important stream, we have a major as cybersecurity. And you have a mix of the different skills. One is networking. There's overview of internet networking. We teach very basics of the networking, how they connect each other, internet, and the devices such as the routers, switches, all we how they connect. And also we have a practical experience as well, hands-on experience you will have during your study. We have the lab here with a very big lab. One way it is very expensive, more than $500,000 for in both campuses, Melbourne and Sydney. We have a number of routers, we have number of switches, so you will get hands-on experience on the devices itself. And cybersecurity is such a big topic and a popular topic at the moment, and everybody is talking about the attacks and the security, and it's very important. So we go through the cybersecurity major, and in that one you learn about the ethical hacking and security governance, and the data analytics of the security data itself. So there are number of the units related to the security, wireless security, computer forensic, cyber security principles. So these are all related to the cyber security. Next slide. Okay, so we even in the general we have two different the stream again, which is called as a general, and then other one is a cybersecurity major. So even if you take the general degree, it is okay, Master of Networking, because you do get like for cognate students, you do get two electives. So two elective units, you can specialize in one of the major, such as cybersecurity. You can take two of the units to specialize in cybersecurity. Cloud network, we have 2 units again, and cloud engineering and software defined networking are very popular units as a cloud specialization. And software engineering specialization, you have software system architecture, enterprise architecture, and the software engineering as well. And software engineering area is really popular as well, because most of the industry, they require the software engineering. And as everybody mentioned, we do have industry-based projects. In the masters, we have 2 units. One is called as research methods and project design, and other one is a capstone project. So in research methods, we teach about the research. So how to do systematic the research through the literature review and things like that. And then to come up with, and again, both of them are related to the client, real client. It's not the made up client, it's a real client. So you will get a real industry client who is from the industry, and then you will be getting the project requirement from them, and then you will work on the requirement, and you will work on the project design based on the literature review in the first unit, and then the same project will be continuing for the second project, and where you are going to do implementation. That means with the hands-on connectivity, you are demonstrating the product itself. End of second project, so you will have a product, and that product you will be demonstrating in impact event, which everybody talked about, and that is in front of all the audience, wider audience, clients, and other industry professionals as well. That's a good opportunity actually, mainly because you get the local experience. And I always tell my students saying that because it's very hard to get the local experience in Australia at the moment, it's very hard because of the COVID-19, and because this is the great opportunity for you to work on the project with the industry client, and you can put in your resume saying that you have a local experience, because that's a real project. So you can put it as like you have a local experience for 2 trimesters, and you will be having a communication with a client regularly, 1 hour per week, and you have opportunity to go to the industry and see the place, and you get the opportunity to work closely with the industry professional. So make sure that it's very good opportunity for you because it's a compulsory project. So you get really good exposure into the industry. And this is one of the students who are demonstrating the car space, car parking and things like that. Next slide. And very important thing, recently, the difference between the engineering degree and networking degree. In networking, we have industry-based projects. In engineering, you have a compulsory internship. But having said that, in networking also, there are some opportunities for the internship. That means you are working in the industry, and there are 2 ways where you can have an industry internship. One way it is like you can directly contact the employer and then you can get the internship, or the MIT will assist you. And recently we had one student who worked as an intern in Siemens company. So he got really excellent feedback, and if there is opportunity in their company, they are recruiting him directly. So that's a
Dr. Savitri, I've actually got Darshit on next.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And if there is any question.
No worries. No, Professor Savitri, I was asking the student who went to Siemens, who was doing a project in Siemens, was it?
Is he here, Darshit? Yes.
Yes, he's actually on right now.
He's here anyway, yeah. So
yeah. So I'll ask him a little bit more about that opportunity he had. Well, thank you very much for coming, Darshit. Okay, so just introduce yourself first. Perfect.
Yep. Thank you, Shraddha. Thank you, Professor. Good day, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Darshit. I am a Master of Networking student at the Melbourne Institute of Technology. So I'm in the final run of the course. And honestly, it's been a very fascinating and an exciting journey altogether. I've learned quite a lot. I've interacted with industry professionals during my course, which has benefited me a lot. And certainly I would encourage anybody to take up this course because it's industry grade course and it's work integrated learning, which really benefits any student who wants to be industry ready after they finish their curriculum. Yeah. So overall, it was really a fascinating experience in MIT altogether.
Great, thank you very much, Darshit, for that introduction. So, with the question, so tell us a little bit about how studying via live lectures and tutorials went.
Well, I mean, everyone is aware right now because face-to-face learning has been quite challenging because of the pandemic that's there everywhere, and so we resorted to Zoom online learning. Pretty much, I could say that the benefit what we get from face-to-face learning and Zoom learning, you can pretty much say they're almost equal. So, because you still have the host as you still have the lecturer as the host who is going to be with you throughout the session, and you also get intervals where you can actually post your questions and also get them clarified. And you also have time slots where you can also have discussions with your peers and also your fellow students. And the interesting thing that I liked about in Zoom was the breakout sessions, what we used to get from our lecturers and tutors and lab instructors, where you get that personalization level of guidance and assistance when you're working with your curriculum. So in that way, it was really benefiting, and also the plus point is that you don't have to come to the campus, say if you're living far away. So that would be a bit of I mean, you'll have to commute for long hours, so that's avoided. So you get to learn in your own space, in your own home. So learning
save a lot of time, don't you? Yeah.
Absolutely, and you can use it at your own discretion. You can use resources at your own discretion, which makes things a lot easier. Yeah.
That's right. So you have a little bit of a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and lots of revision. So I'm assuming the recordings of the lectures has helped you.
Yes, yes. That's another added advantage of this, because you are also part of the session that was conducted live. But then again, if you want to revisit the lessons that was taught to you previously, you can go back to them anytime in your free time, and then you can go through them again and again, which sort of, it definitely strengthens your skills and knowledge as well. Yeah.
Can you describe a little bit about what Moodle and AMS is? Because I think a lot of new students wouldn't have an idea. What do you accept?
Well, Moodle is basically related to your course that you're enrolled in. It has information about your assessment tasks, your assignments, your labs, your tutorials. Basically, it has the overall material, what is required for the unit that you've enrolled in. So AMS sort of gives you the overall track record of your progress, how you're progressing through your curriculum. So in AMS, you can get to know your assessment marks, your attendance, your financial information, and also key contacts. You can also book your appointments in there. You can get to know who are the faculty members. You get to know their contacts, and also, yeah.
No, that was really, really thorough. Thank you very much, Darshit.
No problem.
The next question. So how easy is it to access and navigate Moodle?
Well, it's pretty straightforward, and it's very self-explanatory. So any student who logs into either Moodle or AMS can pretty much figure out things for themselves, because
you guys live in the digital age as well, isn't it? So
exactly, and it's quite expected out of people. So, and I'm sure that student services are available anytime, so you can either email them and contact them, so they can assist you at any given instance. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So tell us, final question. Tell us about the industry-based project that you.
Yeah, sure. This was actually a brilliant opportunity that I got when I entered the final the final term of my curriculum. So basically, I worked as an intern in Siemens, and I worked on the implementation of a security information and event management system tool. The prerequisite for this internship was that I must be a candidate who is well aware of networking and cybersecurity basics. And the course structure, what was designed by MIT, helped me quite a lot in answering the interview questions. So most of the times you would obviously go for the theory aspects and you will stick to textbooks or other material. But then again, the way MIT has designed this course structure is more industry ready based. So which will give you an idea, or rather give you the confidence as to how you're supposed to present yourself and also answer the questions that's given to you at the time of interview. And it really helped me in with the confidence that I had to showcase at the time of interview, and that's how MIT was really helpful on that regard.
Wow. Okay. No, that's really, really good to hear, Darshit. I think it's also a credit to our lecturers as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and of course your lecturers and all faculty members are available at your disposal, so you can pretty much use them anytime. They are available to answer your queries. They respond to your emails on time. You can even contact them directly. You can book appointments directly.
Yeah.
The kind of interpersonal interaction with them. So if you feel that you're getting stuck anywhere, there's always somebody or the other to help you at MIT.
Right. Thank you very much, Darshit. And I'm pretty sure you will go far, and we'll on our Hall of Fame soon.
Well, I'm not really that much, but I wish everybody the very best as well, and also push forward with the same rigor, because I'm sure that universities, institutions, faculty can give you everything that you need, but then again, it depends on the student how you wish to use them.
That's right. Yeah, you have to ask as well, and apply that same amount of effort into it.
Exactly, and that will definitely, without a doubt, it'll take you places.
Right. Yeah. Very, very good advice, Darshit. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem at all. Yeah. So next we've got Jared coming on. We'll be talking a little bit more about the internship processes and stuff. Welcome to stay on as well, Darshit. Or if you other stuff, that's fine. But thank you very much again, once again.
No problem. Thank you. No worries. Cheers.
So next we have got Jared, who is coming on. Jared, hi Jared, how are you?
Very well. Actually, we should get Darshith on the Hall of Fame. I totally agree. From a careers perspective, we should definitely have him up there. So if he's still around, yes, Darshith, we'll look at you.
Okay, so let's get started, Jared.
There you go. I just got the two thumbs up. So we've got to be in contact like I am with everyone. So
Yeah.
Career Development Service, nice to see you all. Welcome to Careers. It's a big area for MIT, a big area for me, and also industry relations and industry liaison, and also alumni. And all three of are extremely important, very critical to MIT, especially alumni. We have over 5,000 nationally and internationally. So I hear from all the grads. We've got plenty of stories to tell. The Hall of Fame is just one of those things that we talk about, and we'll get to that. But with one-on-one career advice, I manage career development services at MIT, and my strong message to all students from day one, orientation, I see you all day one and see you all right now, is your career starts today, not halfway through the course, not at the end of your course, from day one. When you arrive at MIT, the career starts today. Your career starts today. We're the vehicle, you're the driver. Drive us in the way you want to go. And the biggest complaint from industry is that graduates aren't ready. When they post-study, graduates aren't generally ready. So this is where MIT has heard that message loud and clear from employers. At the end of the day, you want a job. You want a job. And I'm the one at MIT, I guess, collectively too, from every part of the MIT family, is to get you where you want to go, and that's a job. And we do it from day one. One-to-one career advice, yes, over the past 12 months, personally, I've done over 350 hours of one-on-one career advice. Very intensive time. Students can come and see me either on campus or obviously due to COVID that we're seeing everyone over Zoom. But nonetheless, people do come and see me, and it's a very intensive approach. A lot of people come back and see me time and time again. I encourage it because at the end of the day, it gets you job ready. There are interactive workshops that we do online as well, directly with industry. And industry hosts these workshops. So we have professional readiness workshops. We have makeover workshops as well, because it's just not about the ability to submit a CV or a cover letter. There is so much more about it. And I always say to students, employment's a game, and you've got to know how to play that game to get the end result. Just like any sporting match, there are strategies, players, coaches to win the game. And the same principle applies to employment. Employment, it's a game. You've got to know how to play that game, especially in Australia with the rising unemployment figures. So things are not over yet. They're continuing on, and the game is getting harder. But you can get a job. You can gain professional employment, and there's been a couple of over the past couple of weeks, there has been students, graduates, those completing, that have just got full-time jobs here. And that is due to the intensive approach and the idea that your career starts from day one. So we run interactive workshops, professional readiness workshops, industry, the digital platform, the digital footprint, all goes to winning that job. We have an exclusive online career services platform, and that's called Career Hub, where students can book in to come and see me, can access a range of resources, whether it's a part-time job, whether it's a casual job throughout your studies, or looking for that graduate job, that full-time graduate job. It's a one-stop shop. Career Hub is a one-stop shop, and we have over 2,000 people, 2,000 students and graduates in there. Future Work Conference as well, and networking events as well. We're very strong on engaging students with industry. Take me out of the frame. it's these workshops, and the approach is that we connect you with industry. And some of the relationships that we do have, IBM to start with, we have KPMG, Ericsson, just to name a few. And I can go on and on and on, as students and graduates know. But a couple of quick stories before we go on. We have a graduate from 2012, 2013, did a Masters of Professional Accounting course at MIT, and now years later is sitting at KPMG in Hungary. So that is a fantastic story. In a short amount of time, you can go a long way. And these collectively at MIT, and using all aspects of the MIT family, alumni and career services certainly do connect you with, I certainly do connect you with alumni, because a lot of them do want to give back. And another quick example of that is just last week, we've heard from a graduate from 2012, or 2010 rather. He did a Masters of Networking, and now he's just been promoted an Associate Director of Research as a medical scientist at the world's second largest medical devices company, a US-based company. So there are plenty of good stories, fantastic stories, that though these grads were sitting right here on campus studying, and this is where they've got to go. And so there are so many fantastic stories coming from MIT and those who have studied here. The other thing I'd like to say is in terms of internship placements. Internship placements, we've had a 300% increase in internship placements. I think COVID has thrown a spanner into the works of late, and the unemployment rates and employers reluctant to actually take on students and take on and graduates. But nonetheless, it comes back to the principle: if you know how to play the game of employment and how to engage with industry, results will come for you. Results will come. And the internship placements, a lot of those placements then turn into employment opportunities prior to students completing. So collectively, through workshops, collectively through alumni feeds back, and actually coming back to that particular story with the Associate Director of Research, this is what he actually said in the email to me, and just wondering how I can share my success with MIT students so that I can inspire them. So, and that is just one example. We've got plenty more examples of graduates wanting to give back to current students. And in this day and age, I think connection and industry will tell you this too, that network and networking, and a strong network is critical to acquiring employment outcomes. How is MIT industry connected? We've got tentacles. I will say the word tentacles because we're reached everywhere, every part of the world, and well connected locally with blue chip companies, with organisations, cream of the crop that we say here, cream of the crop organisations that our students are working in right now. IBM is one of them that I can cite right now. How is MIT industry connected? Well, through capstone projects, through internships, threaded right throughout the course, capstone projects, more and more employers. I've just been half an hour ago, I had employers on the phone telling me how T1 students out on capstone projects connected with industry have done extremely well. And the impact event that we had ran on campus, or ran in the virtual world yesterday, the impact event was outstanding, and the students should be congratulated. And again, some of those capstone project students will obviously be offered, or have been offered, opportunity post-study. They're about to complete their studies, and they'll be able to walk straight into a job. So, so through internships, through capstone projects, through MIT alumni, through industry relationships, through partnerships that we have out in industry, domestically, right across the country, and also internationally. Again, We're the vehicle, you're the driver. My strong message is day one, absolutely day one. If you want to go somewhere and if you want to be someone, come to MIT. Come to MIT because there are real results that show from studying at MIT.
Great, thank you, Jared. So one more question. We want to know a little bit. So we had some questions about students actually wondering how are the projects and internship placements organised?
Okay, internship placements, regardless of whether it's projects or internships, we have agreements out in the marketplace with organisations, with well-established organisations, and also students self-source. And this goes to the heart of employability. And again, if you listen to the message from employers, that graduates aren't ready to go. Graduates aren't ready to be employed. They're not able to interview properly. So projects and internship placements are a way to increase your employability and maximise opportunity post-study, or even, as I said, prior to finishing, employment opportunities come. Projects are self-sourced and also through industry agreements that we have. There are wonderful projects that we have. These are attached, and I'm sure academic previously have touched on projects, but these are real projects based with industry, in connection with industry. Again, they're not only just done in the classroom, they are actually based with employers, real employers, as in internships are too. I'll give you a quick example of how an internship placement, and I see all the engineering masters and batch students, I see them all. I'm involved with all the internship placements, and I see some real outcomes of that. I'm very excited for those internship students because it's their opportunity to shine. So a lot of the projects and internships are organised in collaboration with industry, but also, more excitingly, the students, current students are actually facilitating opportunity, engaging with industry themselves. And again, this is the key and the heart to employability and that job at the end. So projects and internships are self-sourced. A lot of them are self-sourced. So that means simply students will go to industry, will engage in industry with help from careers, again, sitting with them and showing them and taking them through the steps prior to interview, cold calling organisations to take out our students for internship placements. So we get all the basics right, all the CVs, all the cover letters, how to address key selection criteria, how to interview even for internships, and how to engage with industry. Remember, day one. So the internships and projects can be self-sourced. Engaging, we'll equip you with all the tools to engage. My advice is, in Australia, we need to talk. We're all very chatty, as perhaps you can tell from career services and myself. But that's the key. Communication here is the key to engage, and this is what we do. And students actually acquire internships by themselves. They step up, they're not afraid, they're full of confidence, they're full of motivation, and they engage with industry. And I know time's short, but one quick example that I need to point out is a student, a Masters of Engineering student that is actually finishing right now. And he did his internship over summer. Pre-COVID, fair enough, but he approached industry, he engaged with industry, put an email together to them, put a case to them to take them on, for them to take this particular student on. And they gave him the opportunity. He completed his hours, 480 hours, in the second week of January, and on the very last day of his internship, so this is 3 months later, on his very last day, the CEO wanted to see him, and he was petrified. He was saying, oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble, I've done something wrong. And so he walked into that office on his final day, and the CEO said to him, you know what, we never have done this before. We've never done this before with a student. I mean, in fact, we don't normally take on interns, but you have done such a great job. You've gone well and truly above and beyond what we've expected. You've actually shined through. Our team loves you. And so this is a Friday afternoon. Remember, he's got 2 units to complete T1 2020, which he's just done. And that CEO said to him, we know you've got to go back to MIT and complete 2 units, but what we're going to do, because he was on summer break, didn't have to study, but he had the opportunity to do internship. So he took that up, and on his very last day, we don't do this. The CEO said, we don't do this at all, but what we're going to do, because you've done such a great job, is on Monday morning, I'm going to offer you on Monday morning to start with us full-time for until you go back to uni in March to MIT. So we're going to offer you a full-time role as a systems IT engineer, $60,000 Australian plus superannuation, and that will go to 70 once you come back. So during summer, during that week and beyond till he came back to complete his units, he was there working systems IT engineer, full-time role, until he came back in March. In March, because of the visa employment limitation, he then defaulted back to 40 hours a fortnight and then completed his 2 units. Next week and the following week, I think he picks up full-time again. Problem resolved. He's got a job. And this is how internships and projects can lead you to those opportunities like this particular student. So he now is set. He has got a job. He doesn't have to compete on the market with the increasing unemployment rate. He has got a job secured well and truly before he completes his study. And I can give you, as Strada knows, I can give you example after example after example, and I can be here for the next 5 hours, right? Telling you about stories about Hall of Fame, about alumni, and also current students and how success comes for them. And this is what we say, and it comes back to saying your career with MIT, I'm right in front of you day one, I meet you day one, your career, and I will tell you this, your career starts today. And the one quick thing I do when I see you all day one is put a stop. No one knows what we're doing, no one knows what I'm doing, and then I get my mobile phone and I say, stand up in front of someone and get them up, a student up off their feet, and say, okay, this is what industry does. You've come in to see me, 30 seconds on the clock, tell me, you're in an interview, tell me about you in 30 seconds. And they have to answer. But employers do that. So again, that was me day one when I see you. So this is what I'm saying. Career starts day one when you arrive. There is opportunity. International students can get work. If you hear anything else, it's a myth. Example after example after example, international students can get a job post-study in Australia. Full stop.
That's right.
It is very true. Yeah. And I used to have beautiful black hair once, and now I have beautiful grey hair and pretty much falling out. But I have a real passion, and everyone knows this, that a passion for getting you where you want to go and providing opportunity, and MIT providing opportunity to you to get you where you want to go post-MIT. One big family, pre-student, current student, post-student, alumni, graduate, industry, academic, professional services are all together helping you get you where you want to go. So hopefully, I'll see you.
Yes, that's right. If you want a job, this is the guy that you want to see. And you know, as an international student, yes, there are many opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just need to see the right person.
That's right. It is the right person. And I think jobs come when these 3 things match up. Right time, right place, right person. Well, you've got the right person. We've just got to find the right time and right place for you. And jobs will come. Jobs will come for you. But remember, competitive, marketable candidates out to industry. We're talking professional jobs. Yes, you can come and see me for part-time casual jobs. That there are plenty. There are plenty of that, and we've all done them. We've all done part-time and casual jobs through uni. But the jobs that you're after, the professional jobs, you've got to compete for them, and you've got to be a strong candidate. And again, this is collectively through Capstone, through internships, through coming to see career services, is basically all to go together collaboratively to get you to win that job. And again, those quick examples, I know we're all on
yes, that's
time
right.
limited.
We're going, 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. So if there's any Q&A, if there's any questions, fire them.
Yes, please fire away in the chat box. If you've got any questions at all for Jared, this will be our last Q&A session, and we will be finishing up soon. So this is your last chance to ask Jared anything, or even us any. If you've got any questions at all about today's webinar, please do so. Okay. All right, we've got something, but it is related to offer letter.
Yep.
So, Subi, I will ask you to answer that one. If you could probably private message Betsy, that'll be great. But I think that should be it for now. Thank you very much for attending. So I will also just mention to everyone about how to apply, and also about our key contacts in MIT South Asia office, who is Kunal Malhotra and Subi Malhotra. You can email them if you've got any questions that was not answered here today. So thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much, Jared.